Welcome to the RPG Talk Show. My name is Daniel Ivey, and this is
John Welker, Vice President of RPG Research. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to the research and development of role-playing games in all formats and genres for all players.
And we utilize this research to achieve recreational, leisure, educational, and therapeutic goals.
Today's main topic is the history of role-playing games and
through a legal perspective.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about some legal issues that have cropped up in the role-playing games.
Yes.
Everything from the first copyright infringement to the latest scandal with the
OGL.
OGL, yes.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now,
we'll try to make sure that it's more than just Dungeons and Dragons, because there are more than just Dungeons and Dragons as role-playing games.
I promise we'll hit on at least two different companies that aren't Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
After our Traps and Riddles, which is not going to last long, you only have 7 weeks of Traps and Riddles to watch. After that, we're going to be changing up.
Yeah, we're working on some format changes.
But today we will be unboxing one of my dungeon crates.
Okay.
And a special little book that's for a system that I don't have, but it was just the concept was worth getting it on Kickstarter.
Okay. Now, for just chatting, I believe you wanted to talk about some of the unspoken rules in role-playing games.
Yes. Now, what spurred me on was Bell of Lost Souls had an article, D&D's 5 most important unwritten rules.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over the ones that are there, and then we're going to talk about anything we think of that belongs to unwritten rules.
Yeah.
I mean, like, one of the role-playing games unwritten rules that isn't covered in the Bell of Lost Souls is hygiene.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the social contract. That's any type of social gathering. Don't smell like you came out of a dumpster. Make sure that you smell decent, at least.
Yeah.
Or at least not offensive. Yeah. That goes double for cons as well. Shower.
Yeah.
Shower at cons.
Yes. Yeah, the Sunday funk is not funky.
Yeah.
So the first one in Bell of Lost Souls is don't split the party.
Yeah.
Now, for safety reasons, that is an excellent idea. Plus, it makes it so much easier for the dungeon master not to have to track 3 parties over 3 different locations.
Yeah, it's one of those rules where, for many different reasons, it is better to just have everyone in one place at one time, as opposed to, like, if you split the party and one group gets into trouble and now there's combat. Well, combat, honestly, we've actually tracked this, doesn't really last all that long. 1 minute of combat is 10 rounds, and we've seen so many combats that are done before 10 rounds, and the rest of the party, it may take them may not even get there by the time combat's over.
My biggest, I think I've told this story lots of times, my biggest don't split the party was against the Wolfware.
Yeah.
And everybody got a little alone time with the Wolfware. So everybody, one by one, died.
Yeah. But that, honestly,
that was the player's fault.
No, I'm going to vouch for the players here, right? Okay? Because generally we found that don't split the party works, happens with the combat stuff, not necessarily the social stuff. I've seen so many times where, like, you guys are hit a city, oh, this person is going over to the, this place is going over another place, and they're talking to different people in different places.
Right.
And
now,
talking to someone who you trust as an NPC, you're not expecting combat.
Right. That was a total ambush.
Yeah.
It was a social setting that turned violent. Now, recently we did a far shore
Mhm.
got invaded by pirates,
Yeah.
and the party split up into 3 teams.
And you did a 3 to 4 combat simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it took us two sessions to get through the non-boss fight before the boss fight.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
boss fight took us almost a whole session.
So yeah, three sessions to deal with all of that combat.
Now, I do want to say that for safety and dungeon master convenience,
Mm-hmm.
don't split the party is generally a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, the caveat is
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
It's hard for everybody to sneak up on the goblin encampment.
Mm-hmm.
Paladin, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
But also horror.
Mm-hmm.
In order to experience a horror story, splitting the party, you have to be willing to do that as a player. You
Oh,
have to be willing to be vulnerable.
yeah. It's a vulnerability, and splitting the party gives more vulnerability to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how we do the Curse of Da,
Da, da, da.
the Curse of Strahd's
Mm-hmm.
Death House.
Yes.
One of the things I want to do is that wherever you were,
Mm-hmm.
you have um, no weapons or armor.
Mm.
Now, certain people
Mm-hmm.
would naturally have some weapons that they would carry all the time.
Yeah.
The walking stick, the staff,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're a rogue, not having at least one dagger on you, even on a date,
Yeah.
is not completely logical. So there's some elements, but you're supposed to be at a fancy dress party,
Mm-hmm.
and it either has to be something that is not um, an obvious weapon,
Yeah.
like a walking stick, cane,
Mm-hmm.
or it has to be something easily concealed.
Yeah.
Uh, if you can't hide it, then yeah, don't try it. But so we have the people from that, and they enter the Curse of Strahd
Mm-hmm.
house without all of their gear.
Yeah.
I almost want to say without even a spell book.
Mm.
But see, now remember,
Yeah.
you've had your spells memorized for the day.
Yeah.
That gives you 24 hours to find another spell book, which means I will put a spell book in the death house.
No, you don't need that. No. So the spellbook allows you to change your spells out. The spells that you've memorized, it's still in your head. When you take a long rest, you just can't switch them out.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Yeah. And I think that's the rules. It wasn't like in say second edition or third edition where every day you had to re-memorize everything and it just falls out of your head after you cast.
Yeah,
We've gotten a bit away from the Vancian system.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want the people to feel underdressed,
Mm-hmm.
underdefended, they don't have their weapons.
Yeah.
Um, you don't have your spell components that cost money.
Mm-hmm. Now here's a question.
Mhm.
Let's say I'm playing a noble, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I have my family rapier.
Why? At the fancy dress party that has a no weapons rule.
Okay, if it has a no weapons rule, then yeah, okay, the rapier stays at home. But I've seen enough, royalties like and nobles like, yeah, I have my sword. It's just a part of my normal attire.
Right. But
Yeah.
I am definitely going to want you not to have, there are the depiction of the standard noble in the monster manual is he has a breastplate,
Mm-hmm.
and a sword. And
Yeah.
that's just what he walks around with.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. Historically speaking,
Yeah.
Noble isn't walking around with armor.
Well, okay. So I agree with the armor, although for many different cultures, having a sword was a status symbol.
Well, and a necessity.
Yeah.
You know, if you had at least a long knife, walking around without a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
which is why we put uh, the rule you're at a fancy dress party where the rules are no weapons.
Yeah.
Because we want to maintain the peace.
What you could do is have them check their weapons at the front, but when Death House happens, everything where the place where they check their weapons, that's in the mists.
Well, yeah, whatever it is, I want them to arrive in Ravenloft, just outside of Barovia,
Yeah.
without any special gear, so they feel more vulnerable. And there are weapons
Mm-hmm.
in that you can get
Yeah.
while you're going through there. I would allow the rogue to have his lockpicks.
Yeah.
As well as his 1 to 3 concealed daggers.
This is what I'd say. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For illicit stuff on the rogue, they have to prioritize their list.
Yeah.
Okay. They get a sleight of hand check for the first one, and everyone after that, the DC for it being found, decreases by 5. And you figure out, like, say, passive perception of, say, 10. Once it hits 10, they can't hide anything else.
Yeah. So, yeah, I kind of agree with that. The rogue is going to have to get past security.
Yeah.
And
it seems very rogue.
Yeah. The paladin is just going to have to tough it out.
Yeah.
The cleric's going to tough it out.
See, I can see the cleric having some forms of their holy symbol.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
They would have a holy symbol. It just won't be attached to their shield.
Right.
Or as in the case of an old Greyhawk campaign, my holy symbol was my mace.
Yeah. See, I'm a strong believer that if you're playing a cleric, have multiple holy symbols on you. Have it on the shield. Have an amulet.
Mm-hmm.
And you have robes. Have it on your robes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, in my case, I would have had all those plus my mace.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay. So I think we've talked enough about...
Don't split the party.
Yeah. But one of the most important things, and this is pretty much a dungeon master has to get it, but you also, when you make your character, you want to have a reason for them to go adventuring.
Yeah. So generally, I found that if you're building a character, and the game master has spoken to you about what the campaign is going to be, have a buy-in.
Yeah.
Don't just be oppositional from the get-go.
I'm a halfling merchant.
Uh-huh.
And I'm pretty wealthy, so why would I risk my life and my money?
Well, your character doesn't want to do that anymore. Build a new character.
Your character, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, when we were doing Beg Me, I had a character who, I was playing him, and I roleplayed him as he's had his experience with adventuring. He doesn't want to adventure anymore. I was not going to wait for this character to die. He wasn't interested in adventuring anymore, and he leaves. I build a new character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a rule that's definitely for dungeon masters.
Mm-hmm.
Never make this next session dependent on one character being there.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had 3 games in a row with any group that didn't have at least one person missing.
Yeah. Sometimes you have a rotation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we make up excuses
Yeah.
for why they're not there. Sometimes it's, oh, they were there all along, but they weren't contributing
Mm-hmm.
for some reason.
Or, you guys are in the woods. Well, you know what? The rations really, really didn't sit well with them that entire day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, hey, Bob, you're lost again?
Yeah.
There was a NPC, and I think we saw an example of this
Mm-hmm.
in Gamers,
Mm-hmm.
where there was a guy who wasn't there, and the excuse was that the NPC came and got him
Mm-hmm.
on other business, and then suddenly he would show up again. But that's a good one. If
Yeah. I find it amusing when you have convenient ways to explain why a character isn't there so that you don't have to. I found that when. I've only ever heard bad experiences when someone pilots someone else's character.
oh yeah,
Yeah. I'm not saying that there aren't neutral ones, but I've never heard of anything really good happening.
I've had some very successful neutral outcomes
Yeah.
for having other people pilot. For example, oh, we need a detect magic cast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let the turtle do it. The turtle's not here. The turtle can do it. He's an NPC right now.
Yeah. They're putting them on NPC duty where like, okay, they can do minor things, but they're not engaged with most of everything. That's fine. That's not piloting as well. I've had to pilot the turtle because we stopped mid-combat and the turtle was in combat.
The other thing is never make a needed information hidden behind a die roll.
Yeah. If the plot can't progress because of a die roll, that is going to be the one place where no matter how hard they try, they're just rolling ones that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you have to have, especially if you're on a railroad, you can't have it stopped by dice.
Yeah, that's true. Um, Hawk was in a game where he was in a jail,
Mm-hmm.
and he had to find the secret door to get out, but
Yeah.
he couldn't find that secret door because Hawk likes rolling low. No, he doesn't like.
He doesn't. No.
Yeah.
He has historically been one of the most cursed rollers I have seen in a while.
Yeah. What's his record? 8 in a row or 6?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I've rolled like 3 ones in a row. It's like, okay, yeah. At that point, it's fated to happen.
Now, no D&D or no RPG game
Yeah.
is better than bad RPG game.
Yeah. This is one that I vehemently support. I've seen too many toxic games, and I would rather someone not play a role playing game than feel like, well, this is all role playing games. No, why would anyone play this? It gives a bad reputation.
Also, there's been some traumatic elements.
Yeah.
This is why we have safety tools.
Mm-hmm.
So you can navigate those. But if you have a bad dungeon master or a bad character, or they're just playing in a style that you don't play in, I want the social intrigue of the castle. We want to murder everybody.
Yeah. I've actually been in one game where the game master was rubbing one of the players the wrong way, and that player ended up sabotaging the game that caused a total party kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, at that point, just like, okay, it's not for you. Leave the game.
That goes with like chaos monkeys.
Yeah.
Chaos monkeys are spice. A little goes a long way.
Yeah.
And don't forget that you can always utilize your safety tools.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's not working, then it's not a bad thing for you to say, this isn't the right genre for me.
Yeah.
Or this, find another group.
Yeah. Now you're mentioning that chaos monkeys are kind of like spice. A little goes a long way.
Yeah. It's okay to have a little chaos, but when the point of your character is chaos,
Yeah.
and like you're the guy that's always sneaking off to the side,
Hmm.
attracting more monsters, uh, knock that beep off.
I feel this kind of goes in with the with the whole you know when you create a character, make sure that they have buy-in.
Also, don't make a character that is antisocial.
Right. Well, I mean, you can play antisocial characters, but I've played my fair share of antisocial characters. I always have a buy-in. Yeah, they will be grumpy. They will grumble and whatnot. They're still there.
Yeah,
They're still helping.
they're participating. They're not.
Hmm.
I'm the lone wolf.
Yeah.
I'm the Batman. I
If,
don't need anybody.
if anything, I kind of played as a joke that yeah, I'm the lone wolf. I'm helping.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've also been my fair share of harbinger of chaos. I'm not trying to. I've never been. I've never tried to derail an entire story because I was bored. It's
Um,
always still in the venue of the buy-in.
right.
Yeah.
The Chaos Monkey who's actually trying to create a creative solution
Hmm.
or is taking a different path. Like I had one player that was a Chaos Monkey,
Hmm.
and they were the silly type Chaos Monkey who did things that weren't really on the thinking scale.
Okay.
Okay, you walk into a room and there's a owl bear there.
Hmm.
Oh, aren't you cute? I'm going to make him my friend.
Okay. Well. Okay. That's yeah. I That is still engaging.
It is
That is still
engaging,
engaging with the story.
and it's not a safe choice,
Yeah. That was
but
kind of like when I was playing Raggedy Abby Longstocking. We came across the oversized weasel, and you know what? She had to ride it. She had to ride the weasel.
yeah, that was a little bit of chaos,
Uh huh.
but it didn't hurt the story or the other players.
Right.
Um, what was the one I was about to say? Oh, my wife was playing Stomp.
Yeah.
Now, Stomp is basically a giant with autism.
Hmm.
Right now, we call them Goliaths.
Yeah.
And, it's like a half giant type person, barbarian.
Hmm.
And walking through a maze
Hmm.
in the Underdark, some drow pop up behind a barrier
Hmm.
and start shooting. And he charges forward,
Hmm.
picks up the first drow he gets to. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I've been alone here so long. Meanwhile, breaking the ribs and back of the person he's hugging.
I'm gonna hug you and squeeze you and name you George.
Exactly.
Yes.
Uh, the Goliath was a adult character
Hmm.
with the mentality and personality of a 7-year-old,
Yeah.
or maybe a little over, but just and it was a better, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I mean, Conan is a classic for a reason,
Yeah.
but Conan isn't a dumb barbarian.
I've seen a lot of arguments about Conan, and yeah, he's got that look. I don't think he's a barbarian.
Yeah.
I would see him as a fighter. I would see him as a rogue.
Well, he's a multi-class.
He's multi-class. Yes.
He's a fighter rogue.
Yeah, but he's not a barbarian.
Right.
Yeah, he's. I
He doesn't go into rage.
Yeah, that's what it is. He doesn't go into rage. He's very strategic. He's very, very tactical. I'm not saying that barbarians can't be, but it's that lack of rage.
And they're, especially in the 80s,
Yeah.
the trend was in movies and everything. You were Gru,
Hmm.
or you were the somebody brothers who played twin barbarians in a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not a lot of rage, but nobody was writing D&D barbarians.
Yeah.
And they were stupid.
Yeah.
You know, big and strong, but dumb as a rock.
And, you know, that is an archetype that can be played, but Conan's not that either.
Yeah, Conan is definitely not dumb as a rock.
Yeah.
He does understand nuance and things like that.
If anything, he will sometimes, you know, punish you while still making you believe he's dumb as a rock. So no, he's quite intelligent.
Yeah. So Stomp was, you know, the barbarian, massive strength score.
Yeah.
In D&D 5th edition, it would be a 20.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like 25.
Yeah.
And had a really low intelligence score.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't play him. I'm gonna hug you. Okay. Yeah. It was a child trapped in an adult's body.
And there's a bunch of different ways that you can portray low ability scores. It doesn't have to be the obvious one at times. So, for example, low charisma. Some people treat low charisma as ugly.
Right, because
it's not.
Charisma's not personality. One of the ugliest people in the world was also one of the most persuasive people in the world.
Yeah.
Hitler is not attractive.
No, he's not.
I don't know how he got married.
Well, he had a cult.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me, I have one character that, for me, he is not complete unless he's got his 8 in charisma. He is not a charismatic person. But the way I see it is, one, he is a bit ugly, but that isn't connected to his charisma. He has anger issues.
Well, you know, you got the anger issues. You got the guy that's, I'm the lone wolf. I'll help you anyways. But,
yeah.
You know, I have a low charisma because I stutter and I don't talk.
Right.
Or I have a low charisma because I smell bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take care of my hygiene.
And I'm not even aware
seriously.
of it. Yeah.
Or I'm just a halfling who wears knee-high breeches and has no facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
Why does everybody keep treating me like I'm a child?
Yeah.
You dress like a child.
There's a bunch of different ways that you can, you know, portray these low ability scores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intelligence, wisdom, low wisdom score. You have ADHD. You don't pay attention. You do pay attention, but lose the train of thought with any distraction.
Or just like you're just always aloof, where you know you're in your own mind, and people have to like pay attention to what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Their last one was pay attention when it's not your turn.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than the person who's playing a video game while you're DMing.
Yeah.
Or the person who has to be told, hey, it's your turn. What are we doing? We told you last round what we were doing.
Yeah.
Those, I tell people, I want you to do two things. Pay attention to what the other players are doing.
Yeah.
So you can respond appropriately. And secondly, have your turn ready when it comes to you. I don't want you to think, oh, what can I do when it becomes your turn? You should have already been thinking about that.
Yeah. And I do want to say that for that, I've been, especially for spellcasters, because I'm currently playing one, I try to stay engaged.
Yeah.
I've had some times where, you know, I've got an idea of what I want to do, right? It comes to me, and literally the person right before me invalidated my plans. So I have to think of something then. But I was already engaged. I knew what was going on, and I'm like, okay, I have to change what I was going to do.
Yeah. Paying attention, knowing your spells or abilities, just knowing your abilities.
Yeah.
Now, if this is your first time playing, yeah, we're going to teach you. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But if you've been playing long enough that you've created your own character, then you've played long enough to read your character sheet.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how many people that I brought into an RPG who chose a pre-made character and did not read the character sheet.
That is actually one of the things that I've found an issue with, because especially with the pre-made characters, unless it's really, really, really simple and you can get everything on not even one page, let's call it half a page,
or on a business card.
On a business card,
yeah.
A lot of times we're like, okay, here's a pre-made character. I can give you an idea of what you're doing, right?
By the way, just in case anybody was thinking I was joking about on a business card.
Yeah.
It's literally a business card.
Here's your archetype, and we're in the game, and a lot of times, they're trying to pay attention to the story, but they can't pay attention to the story and read their character sheet at the same time, which means they don't necessarily know what the characters can do.
Now, Huck has this, you need to start playing within 5 minutes of sitting down.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not possible.
Right.
Because first we have to sit down. I will have all the pieces ready so they don't have to physically do this. But then you have to give them 5 minutes at least to read over their character sheet.
Yeah.
The only way you can skip that is if they made their own characters.
Yeah. At which point, if they made their own characters and they don't know what the characters can do, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, if I'm seeing someone and they're going through the character sheet, they're making decisions about the character sheet, that isn't necessarily them reading the totality of their character sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't read the back page.
Right. Like, I'm playing a wizard, I haven't read my spells. I don't know what my spells do.
I don't even know where the spell list is. Oh, here it is.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what a cantrip is. What's a cantrip? As opposed to a first level spell. How many spell slots do I have? I don't know.
Right. And you have to give a person, you're playing that wizard, you might want to give them another 5 minutes to look at their spell list and ask questions.
Yeah. If anything, I feel like I know that the stereotypical, beginner party has been the fighter, the rogue, the cleric, and the wizard. I feel like they should switch out the wizard for the warlock. I feel like the warlock is a simpler spellcaster to play, because you've got less things to worry about.
Well, what about a sorcerer?
The sorcerer, I feel, is just as complex as the wizard. The warlock has their cantrips and 2 spells.
Yeah. But there's something to be said for tradition.
Yeah. But in terms of getting someone in that they've never played before, tradition is one thing. Getting someone who's like, I want to play a spellcaster, but I've never played one before, there's a warlock. There'll be more complicated spellcasters later.
Yeah, I can see that. But your warlock also needs to have the right patron.
Yeah.
You don't want a fiend patron or an old one's patron.
With this, everyone's first level, which means they're not having a patron yet. Patron happens at 3rd level. They're shopping around.
Okay, see, story-wise, that's stupid and ridiculous.
I understand that.
Now, I can see that you have a patron on day 1, because how the heck did you become a warlock if you don't have a patron? But you don't get the abilities of having a patron. The privileges of it. Until you've proven yourself.
I would say that your patron is some shadowy figure that is testing you right now to see whether or not you deserve full power.
Have you watched The Mighty Nine?
Not yet.
Uh, okay. Do you mind a mild spoiler?
I'm okay with that.
All right. Warning. Spoiler alert.
For the Mighty Nine.
Yes. For the first three levels,
Mm-hmm.
and no, they don't ever mention levels. They just get progressively stronger through the story.
Yeah.
Um, the warlock doesn't even know he's a warlock.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
he
funny.
doesn't he doesn't know where his powers are coming from,
Mm-hmm.
or who that voice that's whispering in his ears. Uh, so it's very interesting. Yeah, yeah. And that's one way to do it.
Oh yeah.
You got these powers, you don't understand them. This is what they do,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear voices. There was a point when I thought that maybe Jester was a warlock.
Mm-hmm. I believe Jester is a cleric.
Jester is a cleric.
Yes.
Um, who's, well, it's not a real spiritual weapon because it doesn't float around and attack on its own,
Mm-hmm.
but she can summon a giant lollipop.
I've heard of Jester. The reason why I'm not too worried about the spoilers is, yeah, I do want to watch it. I am familiar enough with a lot of what's going on with Critical Role, or at least some of the characters. I just am not too familiar with the plot, but I do know a lot of the characters.
If you have Amazon Prime, you have the Mighty Nine, and before that, they have Vox Machina.
I've seen Vox Machina.
Yeah.
Vox Machina was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, then you're going to love Mighty Nine.
Yeah. Now, you went through the list of unspoken rules. I actually had two that I feel were just as important.
Yes.
Okay. There is the classic Rule Zero.
The classic rule zero is that the dungeon master makes the rules.
Right.
It doesn't matter what's written in the book.
Mm-hmm.
It matters what the judgment of the dungeon master is.
Yeah.
At one point, we had somebody making a list of my home brews,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody somehow remembers them all. But I don't have a list anywhere, which
You should.
I should.
Especially for, well, actually, no, you do have a list. You have an entire book of the Life Well Lived. We know that that's part of your home rules.
Right, it's part of it.
Yeah.
But my rules, like how we do crits.
Mm-hmm. That's in your cards.
Yeah, I'm using cards. Other games, I use the max damage plus a die roll.
So the crunchy crits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because nothing is more disappointing than
yes.
doing a 2 points of damage.
I remember we were playtesting the Superheroes Palladium game, and my character could not hit worth. I couldn't connect at all, and I finally crit, and then rolled minimum damage.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. It hurt so much. But I wanted to add something to Rule Zero, and for me, I've seen this as Rule Zero Addendum 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we know that Rule Zero is the game master makes the rules. Okay. Addendum 1 is a game master with no players isn't running a game.
Yeah, that's true. If you I make the rules and you're inconsistent,
Yeah.
or you're vindictive,
Mm-hmm.
or just cruel.
Yeah. The game master has a lot of power, but the players have a choice to kind of like, no D&D, no role-playing games is better than bad D&D. Well, if a game master can't keep players, he can't keep a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, he probably should regale himself to being a character for a while.
Yeah. If you're constantly losing players, it may be time to assess, is there something that I'm doing wrong? Yeah.
I don't have a retention problem.
No, you don't. No. I mean, I've had retention problems, but it's always been like scheduling. People want to play, scheduling gets in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a player that was with us and now isn't because they suddenly got scheduled for work.
Yeah.
One of my favorite players on my Tuesday game shows up at 7.
Mm-hmm.
We're done.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, those were two that I had thought of as unspoken rules. Were there any on the on that list that you could think of that should be there in terms of unspoken rules?
Well, nothing that there was only 5 that was on this list, so it wasn't very long. Some of the unspoken rules is got to be um, exercise the willing suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. Although I feel like that goes in with the buy-in as well. Some of it is like, if you're not willing to play the game, why are you playing the game? If you're not willing to have some amount of buy-in.
Now, I have one player.
Mm-hmm.
You know who he is, but is anti-science.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that your world has gravity,
Yeah.
that math is
I
involved.
believe there is a certain level of anxiety with that player. Not even that character. I think there's a certain level of anxiety with that player. Where I feel it comes down to. I'm not saying that this is specifically with that player, but I've seen it with other players that have exhibited similar types of anxiety where they have a certain amount of, or at least they feel like they don't have control in their life.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking for some type of consistency in their, in their fantasy.
Right.
But if it isn't the consistency that they're expecting, then, well, dogs and cats living together, nothing matters.
Well, I have seen where I've even stated. So I was writing an RPG for someone, and we never finished. But he was like, how do we follow the rules of writing the Fae? And I said, no, you don't understand. We make the rules of the Fae
Yeah.
in our world, and we just have to be. The only rule we have to follow is to be consistent in what we rule. If we say that pixies always wear brown pants, all pixies wear brown pants, and we better have a good reason when the pixie shows up with a pink dress.
Yeah. Actually, I remember I came across a video, and all props to him. He makes amazing content. Pointy Hat.
Oh yeah, he's fun.
Yeah, he has a video going on about Fae, and he loves Fae. I love Fae too, and he went through his rendition of the difference between the Seelie and the Unseelie court.
Oh yeah.
And his video, if you get a chance, watch it. It's amazing because he isn't basing it off of are the Seelie evil and the Seelie. He wasn't going by the trope of
Seelie is good, the Unseelie is evil.
Right, and I've always had a problem with that.
Well, there's also people who do it dark and light.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of one court being inherently good and one court being inherently evil. I feel Fae should be terrifying, and you can never really tell what's going on with them. But with the Unseelie court, you have an understanding of what the rules are. And you may understand what the rules are with the Unseelie court, but it's never really good for you.
There was an idea put forth that the Unseelie court is winter.
Yeah.
And the Seelie court is summer.
Mm-hmm.
And the independents are either autumn or spring.
Yeah.
Depending on whether or not you're independent but lean towards the Seelie, then you're autumn. I mean, you're spring if you lean towards the Seelie. Unseelie, you'd be autumn.
Yeah. Unless you're really early spring, in which case you've still got some frost in your hair, and it's
you get the point.
yeah, equinoxes versus solstices.
Mhm.
But then, if you're dealing with that, then I would hope that you're dealing with climates and the shifting of seasons as the overarching story arc with the Fae.
Well, and that was, at least especially in this scenario, um, the seasons were everything.
Yeah.
It's like the modern Eladrin,
Mm-hmm.
where what type of Eladrin, fairy elf, you are is based on which season
Mm-hmm.
you emulate.
Yeah.
And I think some of them can change their season, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know that elves who worship a certain god can change their genders.
Well, that's based off of current fifth edition. That's Corlin Lorethian.
Yeah.
And I think that is any elf can really do that right now.
No,
No.
specifically, you have to be a worshiper.
Yeah.
It's an ability from that deity.
Okay.
You don't have to be a cleric to have that ability, but you have to be a worshiper.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Before we go on to our main topic, is there anything else that you wanted to end with?
No. The only thing I would say is that remember, a game is a social gathering.
Yeah.
And everybody is there to have fun, including the dungeon master.
Yes, absolutely.
So remember that when you're at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not there to have fun, go play football.
Yeah, and for me, I'm also a big proponent of it, and I make sure that I try to do this as well, where I know that I'm there to have fun,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a problem having fun if I don't want to have the spotlight all the time.
Right.
I will try to make sure that other people are having the spotlight as well, because I want to be a part of the group. I want to see what random person X has to do. Yeah, I can have, I can come up with the solution. I want to know what their solution is. Yeah.
A lot of times when I'm playing, I will, especially or I will try to not be as intelligent as I am and knowledgeable as I am,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I've already ran that module before.
Yes.
I'm great in combat. I have my skill set that I'm going to be good at,
Mm-hmm.
but don't look for me for answers.
Yeah. If I've played a module before, I will absolutely replay the module. I'm not taking front and center stage. It's going to be like me. Like I've been on certain roller coasters multiple times. I know how it is. I'm still going to enjoy it, but I'm not going to try and ruin someone's new experience of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is our main topic again?
Our main topic is history of role-playing games centered on legal.
Yeah. So, legal perspective on the history. We're going through a couple of histories. Legal is the first one. I think we also have what is it?
Well, we have a series that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 5, but let me verify here.
I think it's 4.
Well, it's historical perspective, legal.
Yeah.
Historical perspective, stereotypes and myth.
Yeah.
Historical perspective, the building blocks of role-playing games.
Mm-hmm.
And historical perspective in media. So it is 4.
Yeah, it is 4.
So we're going to have a month of
history.
Welcome to the future. That is 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the past.
Well, if you control the past, you control the present. If you control the present, you control the future. Yeah. So after these messages we'll be right back. Welcome back to the RPG Talk Show. We're going into our main topic, which is the history of role-playing games from a legal perspective.
Correct. We're just going to be reporting on these. We're not going to in depth on any of these topics.
No, we're not.
We're just basically going to present a timeline without actual dates.
Yeah.
Because we're just going to Well, like we can give dates.
Well, I've got a couple of dates, but before we go any further, we're not lawyers. Do not take this as any type of legal advice or counsel.
I don't even play a lawyer on TV.
No.
And if you take legal advice from either of us, you deserve to be broken and in jail.
Well, I'm not going to say that either because I'm not a lawyer.
Well, that's just an opinion. It's not a legal opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So, why would we even look into the legal perspective of role-playing games?
Well, because ever since the invention of role-playing games back in 1974, there has been legal challenges to various things.
Yeah.
So first of all, we came out with Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
The little paper books in a box. The OG, the
white box.
The white box. It's been named the original D&D.
Yeah.
So people understand the difference, but Dungeons and Dragons immediately start out with legal challenges, considering that not TSR, Tolkien estate, immediately sued for name changes in some of the characters. That's why we don't have Ents.
Yeah.
We have
Treants.
Well, it's Trent.
It's Trents.
But, it means treant.
You see, I've only ever pronounced it as treant.
Well, you can, but there's only one E in it.
Yeah.
So it's Trent. But it doesn't matter. I call it treant too.
Yeah. It's also the reason why they're called halflings and not hobbits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Orcs was in common law before Tolkien learned to write.
Well, not common law, but public domain.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of public domain, should I go into the definitions now?
Yeah, let's get some legal definitions of some of the things we will be yapping about.
Yes. So these are all common terms when it comes to intellectual property.
Okay.
So the first one, we've actually mentioned patents. Well, no, we talked about public domain, but before we can understand what a public domain is, we have to understand what copyright is. Copyright is a federally granted property right that protects rights holders from certain unauthorized uses of their original works or of authorship. Now, there are some exceptions. The library, you can be a library and have archival copying. You can, copy it for educational or nonprofit broadcasts for the purpose of distance learning, nonprofit live performances and displays, reproductions for visually impaired people, and making copies of computer programs for archival and or maintenance purposes.
This is known as fair use.
Yeah, all of that is fair use. And copyrights and all intellectual property, there's a timer on them. And we'll get into the history of this because Disney specifically has pushed this back a lot, which is why some of the copyright are kind of a mess. But right now, as of January 1st, 1978, copyright expires after the life of the author plus 70 years.
Right.
Yeah. So, anything that, now that we know what copyright is, we can go into what public domain is. And public domain is, anything that doesn't require the need of a copyright to use. And it is for things that are ineligible for copyrights, or the copyright has expired. Remember how I just mentioned life of the author plus 70 years? Well, certain things, specifically because Disney has been pushing back that date so much because of Mickey Mouse. Now they found a way to work around that they can keep certain intellectual property of Mickey Mouse, attached to them and a nightmare for people to use in the public domain. They found other ways around it other than relying on the copyright, but they used to just every so often try and lobby to push the copyright back further, which is why it's, at this point, the author's life plus 70 years. So, outside of copyright, outside of public domain, we have patents,
Well, before you go, I want to make a comment about
Yeah.
public domain. Some things, ideas, and characters pre-exist the concept. Nobody owns
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Well,
that would make it ineligible for copyright.
right.
Which is why it's in the public domain.
Orcs and elves are things that have been in the common parlance for so long. Before we had the written word,
Yes.
those concepts are ineligible for copyright.
Yeah, same thing with dragons, same thing with deities. Yeah.
Certain deities.
Well, yes, the concept of deities, yes.
Yeah.
We can talk about Zeus because the concept of Zeus is older than copyright law in the United States.
Or anywhere.
Right. So, patents, which is pertinent to role-playing games, to a certain degree, use patents gives the inventor the right to exclude others from making use, using, offering for sale, or selling an invention, or importing it into the United States. And patents last 20 years.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't trademark or patent a game system.
Mechanics, yeah.
Yeah,
You can't patent. I believe they said that, and this is getting into the OGL. You can't patent mechanics.
You can patent all the words around it. I mean,
you can copyright all the words.
Words, right?
Yeah.
You can, but you can't patent the fact that you have stats for your various attributes, or that you roll a die and try to get above the die.
Yeah.
Or in the case of percentages, you roll and try to get under the die or under the goals.
In terms of video games, which I'm very familiar with, this is also the reasons why you have so many Snake clones and Tetris clones and platformers, because you can't patent mechanics.
Right.
You can well, this is actually getting into some of the stuff that's going on with Nintendo, but let's not get into what's going on with Pokemon.
Yeah, that's
a minefield.
It is, and it's not a role-playing game.
Well, Pokemon is a role-playing game. It is an RPG.
Okay, RPG tabletop is.
Yeah.
Which is a unauthorized role-playing game, by the way.
No. ERPG, Pokemon, is an electronic role-playing game. It has levels, it has stats, it has growth. Yeah.
It hurts my soul.
Yeah.
But, okay.
I will fight that one just like you saw me fight with with Link. I will fight that one too.
Right. Well, again, it's very easy to call it not a role-playing game because there is no leveling up the character. He just gets better gear.
Yeah, but with leveling, it's with the monsters.
The monsters get harder, but
No. You have 6 Pokemon that you can keep with you, and each of those have individual levels. They gain more power. They learn They learn abilities. They can only have 4 of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on from that.
But you did mention trademarks.
Yes.
Trademarks is the last one I have for intellectual properties, and we'll bookend Disney with this. Trademarks are any words, phrases, symbols, design, or combination of these things that identify your goods or services. It is used to, to say that, okay, I am effectively a company, this is what I'm trading. So, to maintain a trademark, you have to do 2 things. One, you have to, after registering your trademark, you have to actually use it.
And you have to defend it.
That's the other thing. But
as well as the copyrights.
Yeah. But also you have to file at certain intervals. So you have to file 5 to 6 years. There's a 5 to 6 year window after you first register to maintain your trademark. Right. And it's proving that you are still using this trademark. After the 5 to 6 years, There's another window, 9 to 10 years after that, where we have to refile again. And after that, it's every 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the reason.
So, what you're telling me,
Mhm.
at least I think this is what my understanding of it, is that you can hold a trademark forever
Yes.
as long as you keep registering it.
Yes. And if you keep using it. Which is why I said I was going to book in Disney.
Well, I would have also booked in Detective Comics.
Yeah. So, watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Recently, Steamboat Willie moved into the public domain. I would caution anyone. This is not me not giving you legal advice but I would caution anyone to try and use Steamboat Willie because this is how Disney was able to get past constantly pushing back on the copyright dates.
They trademarked his name.
They trademarked the animation that everyone knows for Steamboat Willie. At the beginning of every Disney movie, they have a little blurb which shows Steamboat Willie. That's the trademark. And every time they show that in one of their movies, they're using the trademark.
But that's a tiny proportion. That's not the character.
Yeah, it's not the character, but it has the character in it.
And I don't think a judge would grant that much generosity.
They trademarked that animation. They trademarked the images, 60 frames. Okay, they trademarked the music, which you can do that. So they trademarked him whistling and the animation. All of that is in the trademark. That's how they're keeping hold of the Steamboat Willie.
Well, I wonder how the horror story about Steamboat Willie did.
They're going to have to stay away from specifically him whistling that song and that combination of. It is a minefield. I joke a lot online of one of the most terrifying things in Florida is Disney lawyers.
Right.
Yeah.
And usually, well, this is a new thing since the digital age.
Yeah.
You couldn't. There was a concept, just a concept. It wasn't a legal term or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the idea that your trademark should fit on a rubber stamp.
Yeah, that is certain people's idea, but some trademarks are more complicated than that.
Well, they are now.
Yeah.
Especially since the digital. Now we have animated logos, and the whole animation is trademarked, including, just the words in it.
Mm-hmm. You can also trademark a jingle, so you can't put music on a. Well, I mean, you can write
music is a copyright.
You can trademark music as well.
And not copyright it.
You can copyright it and trademark it.
Well, again, my understanding, and it can be wrong, but like you could trademark the title of a song, but the lyrics are copyright.
Yes.
You trademark the name of the book, and the words are copyright.
You can trademark, and this is actually something that happens a lot. You copyright the name of the book. You copyright all the text in the book.
Mm-hmm.
You trademark the characters.
Sure.
Yeah.
Batman's trademarked.
Mm-hmm.
The character itself.
You better believe Pikachu is trademarked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's even the word TM right after his name.
In fact, there's one trademark that I know is from a group that is quite litigious. Choose Your Own Adventure is a trademark.
Oh, we will get into that.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, why don't we talk about Dungeons & Dragons?
Yes.
Dungeons & Dragons, because it's the first and longest-lasting role-playing game in history, it's had the most legal issues.
Well, I don't know that specifically. There may be one that they started off new and just like steamrolled everything to just get legal issues, but they have a very long history of having legal problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. From problems with the Tolkien estate and hobbits.
Yeah. So first was the copyright, like you said. Then they had, after old school Dungeons and Dragons, original Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
We got advanced Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
that didn't have Dave Arneson's name on it.
Yeah.
I don't think the basic Dungeons and Dragons had his name on it either.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a legal maneuvering from Gary Gygax to cut him out of profits.
Yes.
Not exactly uplifting as
Mhm.
a person, but that's what happened. I'm not
Yeah.
going to.
We're just because we talk about Gary Gygax having been the founder of role-playing game, well, of Dungeons and Dragons,
Well, he's a founder of all role-playing
Yeah.
games.
that doesn't mean that we're treating him like he was a perfect individual. He was not.
No.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, if you find a perfect individual,
Mhm.
they're a cartoon character.
Yeah, that's a caricature. Like I love comic books. I will talk about how wonderful and how important Stan Lee was to comics. He screwed over Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
Stan Lee was not necessarily a good person.
Oh, you want to talk about people like that? Bill Finger.
And Bob Kane.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a very large argument, and I'm saying it this way because there's legal stuff attached to this, that Bill Finger had more to do with the creation of Batman and Gotham and his entire rogues gallery than Bob Kane ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
We had original Dungeons and Dragons
Mhm.
was Gary Gygax and Jeff Perrin.
Yeah.
Then we have Arneson.
Well, that was Chainmail.
Jeff Perrin was Chainmail.
Yes.
You're right. Dave Arneson was actually Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And then Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Gary Gygax tried to claim it all for himself.
Yes.
Saying that it was significantly different from the original, that we don't have to give you credit anymore.
Yeah.
Then, of course, they eventually led up with all his shenanigans
Mm-hmm.
that there was a hostile takeover of TSR.
Yeah.
And obviously, there was plenty of lawsuits around that.
Mm-hmm.
And TSR was being, specifically the person who did the hostile takeover, was being very litigious against any attempt of Gary Gygax to create any other role-playing game.
Mm-hmm.
If you attempt a role-playing game, then she was there to try to shut it down.
Yes.
Then later in our time,
TSR eventually goes bankrupt.
It does go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Which is a legal action.
Yes. And it is bought up by Wizards of the Coast.
Yes. And I would definitely say saved by Wizards of the Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had
So it seems like it feels like every time there is some type of legal issue with the Wizards of Dungeons and Dragons, a new edition comes out. So we had OD&D.
Well, sometimes the legal issues is because of the new edition.
Yeah. So
we had the OGL.
Hold on. Wait, watch this. Watch this. So we had OD&D.
Yep.
Okay. And Gary Gygax wants to cut out Dave Arneson. So then we have that causes Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Okay. And between Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, there's a second edition Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. Now, was there any lawsuits or legal?
I'm not certain about that. I don't know.
I didn't think so.
But it may be that that was probably when TSR was trying to oust Gary Gygax. But Wizards of the Coast comes in.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Wizards of the Coast comes in, and they save TSR. But then they put out their own Dungeons and Dragons, and that's 3rd edition. And that had an OGL open gaming license attached with it. And it caused a boom. It was probably one of the best things for the gaming scene. At least that's my opinion.
It was also one of the best things for Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Because everybody was using the player's handbook.
Mm-hmm.
If you were writing your own game or world and stuff like that, you had to use the player's handbook.
Yes.
so you wouldn't bought that, or you just got a copy of the original system reference.
System reference document.
Yeah, SRD.
The SRD. Yeah. So all of these are legal documents. And then, the how should I put it? I feel like corporate realized that they started getting a bit skittish because there's always this clash between the creatives and corporate. And corporate saw some of the things that were happening under the OGL, and were specifically looking at the Book of Erotic Fantasy here.
Well, that was a third-party book.
Yeah, it was a third party. It was done under the OGL.
Correct.
And a lot of corporate in Wizards of the Coast didn't, they're basically
they don't want to be associated with
exactly. That. So I feel like that is what started. Well, we have to come up with a new gaming license, and that brought in 4th edition,
which was worse in the OGL.
Yeah,
and worse as a game system.
Yeah. There's so many things.
This is what
problem
happens
with 4th edition.
This is what happens when corporate decides they're more creative than the creators.
Right. So the game license for 4th edition was heavily restrictive.
Yeah.
So much so that it ended long-time partnerships between Wizards of the Coast and Paizo.
Right.
Paizo eventually goes on to create Pathfinder using the same open gaming license from 3rd edition,
which is in perpetuity.
Yeah, it you can still use it.
Yeah, definitely. You can still write 3rd edition things legally. I was at one time writing Earth 1066, and I was responsible for the Fey parts.
Yeah.
And ley lines, and what was the other thing? Circle magic, which we call coven magic. But we never finished.
Yeah.
I did publish one thing under the OGL. Well, I didn't publish it. The guy that Troll Lord Games published it. But the guy that commissioned it to be written and then sold through Troll Lord Games did not pay any of his artists, any of his writers, or even its editor. And
don't do that.
I will admit, though, he got his money's worth from me. I was not a good editor. Yes, all the words were spelled correctly. All the grammar and punctuation was right, but I didn't edit the content. Point out things like, it's only been missing for 70 years. That's well within
an elf's lifespan.
Yeah, that's a middle-aged elf at best.
Yeah, that may be a young elf, because some of them say, like, they started venturing at 125.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a young elf.
Yeah. So, Dungeons & Dragons was quite literally getting their lunch eaten by Pathfinder.
This was the first time and only time in history so far that Paizo was outselling.
Anyone was outselling Dungeons & Dragons.
Well, no. Dungeons & Dragons has been the top of the heap through all editions except 4th, where Pathfinder was the top game.
Yeah. So they tried their best to try and coax people in to go onto their extremely restrictive game license, which is why it's not called an open game license.
Yeah.
And eventually they had to hand in their hat and say, no, this ain't working. Which is why we're now at 5th edition.
5th edition is also when we were I worked for Wizards of the Coast as a Wizards of the Coast delegate, but I wasn't the creative side or stuff.
Yeah.
So Wizards of the Coast was beginning of 5th edition, taken over by Hasbro.
Yes.
And Hasbro was not as generous as Wizards of the Coast.
Well, for the first part, they acquired the Wizard of the Coast, but they didn't really pay attention to it.
Right.
Yeah, and
It was good at the beginning of 5th
yeah,
edition.
and Wizard of the Coast had a really they learned their lesson from 4th edition. Had an OGL that was quite open, and oh look, another boom. This is when 5th edition really started taking off, and it supplanted Pathfinder. And I want to say that when Hasbro started realizing how useful and how lucrative Dungeons and Dragons was, and they took a look at that open gaming license, like, this is slipping through our iron fist. So we have an entire they're trying to change the OGL again, and there was a massive kerfuffle. And
the backlash
oh yeah,
was huge.
The community dragged Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro over coals, and I support them for that.
I do. People were canceling their
Mm-hmm.
D&D Beyond accounts.
It was nasty.
Which was unfair at the first because Wizard hadn't bought D&D Beyond yet.
Yeah.
But they were just, everything went down. It hurt the D&D movie.
Yeah.
Honor
that's how recent it was. And that was the best Dungeons & Dragons movie that has ever been put out. It was fun.
It was.
It got crucified because Hasbro decided that they want to mess around with that OGL again. They didn't learn their lesson from 4th edition.
Yeah. And it was a good movie that deserved much more praise.
Oh, yeah.
And making much more money.
Oh, yeah.
And people that had nothing to do with Wizards of the Coast were hurt by Wizards of the Coast actions.
Yeah.
And
corporates versus creatives again.
So, what did we go to after the open gaming license?
Now, because of the backlash of them trying to mess around with the open gaming license again, we now have everything, all the SRD and whatnot, with the exception of a couple of trademarks, is in what is it?
Creative
Commons, which is a non-profit to basically say advanced, putting everything in public domain effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also wrote it so they couldn't revoke it.
Yeah.
Because they learned when they tried to revoke the good license they had out there, people weren't happy.
Oh, they will get dragged over the coals again. Yeah. So that's been a quick overview of the history, a lot of the history of Dungeons and Dragons. But we did say that we wanted to go past just Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Right. The next one I want to talk about is Steve Jackson games.
Yeah. So this is something that happened. This is quite important.
Now, in 1990, there was a lawsuit, which actually happened. The lawsuit occurred in 1993.
Yeah.
But the event that caused the lawsuit was in 1990. The United States Secret Service raided the headquarters of Steve Jackson's Games in Austin, Texas. The raid, along with Secret Service unrelated. By the way, I am reading directly from Wikipedia, so credit where credit is due.
Yes.
With the
I'll forgive you.
Secret Service's unrelated Operation Sun Devil, which was a nationwide United States Secret Service crackdown on illegal computer hacking activities, involved raids approximately 15 cities and resulted in 3 arrests, the confiscation of computers, the contacts, etc. This was so bad, it was very influential in the founding of the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which is an American international non-profit digital rights group based in San Francisco, California. And it promotes internet civil liberties to prevent what happened to Steve Jackson from happening to anybody else. And so basically, They were doing a game
Yeah.
that was a spy game.
Yeah.
Uh, I believe it was GURPS Cyberpunk,
Mm-hmm.
a role playing game. And they took everything.
Don't think they ever returned it,
Oh, they returned the computers.
but not the information.
Yeah, that wiped clean, not even an OS on them.
Yeah.
And they lost their master copy of their game, which was GURP Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason they were able to get it back was that other people out there I had this section, I had that section. And we tried to kludge it all together.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big deal. And they were afraid the stuff that was being put in Cyberpunk, which included rules for computer hacking,
Mm-hmm.
but not act. It wasn't a how-to book,
Ah.
but they thought it was. So that's why it destroyed everything. The lawsuit was successful, and
And you said this raid happened in 1993?
no, the lawsuit happened in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
1992, they seized 3 computers along with 300 floppy disks. Among these was the master copy of GURP Cyberpunk, a role-playing game written by Blankenship, which they were about to release.
Mm-hmm.
The Illuminati server, which this was housed on, included private personal emails to and from SJG employees. The material was returned in June, so this happened in March.
Mm-hmm.
When they say the material was returned in June, yes, the physical, but the digital stuff was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like they just returned bricks.
Well, bricks that can be made functional again.
Yeah, well, but we also say that, if the computer, stops functioning and can't use it for anything,
Yeah, it's a brick.
It's called bricking the computer.
Um, yeah, the Secret Service was acting like not Brinks,
Pinkerton?
Pinkertons. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. We said we're going to get past Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey, speaking of the Pinkertons,
Mm-hmm.
Wizards of the Coast sicked them on people over a card game.
Yeah.
And it was their error.
Yeah.
But
We're not going to go into the history of the Pinkertons right now. Just let's just say that the Pinkertons, a private security firm, has a quite bloody history.
well, they had a license to kill at one time.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of other companies,
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about the Judges Guild earlier in the thing, and not Wizards of the Coast, TSR
Mm-hmm.
did have a licensing program.
Yeah.
It wasn't OGL. Anybody could do it. You had to apply for it. And one of the historical groups was the Judges Guild. And besides writing for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons modules and references,
Mm-hmm.
they also licensed products for Traveler, Chivalry and Sorcery, Dragon Quest, Empire of the Petal Throne, Tunnels and Trolls, Rune Quest, Superhero 2044, and Villains and Vigilantes. And guess what? They're still in business.
Okay. Now, one thing that I feel like it's actually affected the way we talk about and categorize role playing games. One of the reasons why we talk about SABMs, which is solo books, solo books,
adventure books and modules,
and solo adventure modules, is there's a legal distinction between a book and a magazine.
Well, yeah, the magazine format, or what we normally think of a module,
Yeah.
which is usually done in magazine format.
Yes.
Also, besides calling them solo adventure books and modules, they are they the book and module are a little bit different because there is a difference between a solo game where I'm playing Call of Cthulhu, or the first Beckme game, Basic, Expert, Companion, Masters, and Immortals, early Dungeons and Dragons. You played the game, you learned the rules to play the overall game by playing a solo adventure. And some of the solo adventures were just because people were enjoying playing Call of Cthulhu one-on-one, me versus Cthulhu, whatever. The other thing was interactive fiction.
Yes.
Chusco did it first, I think, but they did it more popular than anybody else.
Yeah.
They did Choose Your Own Adventures.
That, and as I mentioned earlier, that is a trademark, and they are litigious.
Yes.
So, instead of calling something Choose Your Own Adventure, this is them defending their trademark.
This guy is really putting it on the line.
Yeah.
Because he actually did everything he could to make this look like a legitimate Choose Your Own Adventure, including the paper count, the paperweight, etc. It's the exact same fonts. It's the same type artwork. The frame is the same.
Yeah.
Everything, you pick that up and you look at it, you're going to think Choose Your Own Adventure. Now, some of the trademark rules are if it's confusing. But this is a Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, they're skirting that trademark by utilizing Scooby-Doo's voice speech pattern. So they're skirting as many trademarks as they can with that book. It's one of the reasons why I'm impressed by it.
One of the things they did was in their advertising, they call it a Choose Your Own Adventure like book.
Still skirting it.
Oh no, they're I have never seen a finer line drawn for copyright and trademark.
Let's just say that.
Well, at least trademark.
If I find out sometime next year that company has been nuked from orbit in terms of lawsuits between Chusco and Hanna-Barbera, anything, Hanna-Barbera may not be putting them through the ringer right now, only because they're in their own nonsense right now between them and Hanna-Barbera is, I think, owned by Time Warner, which who owns it right now, we don't know.
Somebody. Yeah.
Just because of that book, I see it being nuked from orbit.
By the way, this is fun.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's been done. I'm so glad I got a copy of it. I don't know if there's going to be any pushback because this is deliberate in its running that super razor thing fine line.
Yeah. Chusco has filed lawsuits and won against Netflix.
Yes.
Jeep. Who else?
Well, Netflix was because they labeled a television show called Bandersnatch as a Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah.
It was formatted as interactive fiction that you got to choose. Oh, should he do this or should he do that? You got to choose that with your remote.
Yeah.
But they called it a Choose Your Own Adventure, and they got sued big time.
Yeah.
Jeep just used the phrase.
And they got nuked.
Yeah.
If anything, the only, from my experience, the only person/group I feel has been more aggressive going after people than Chusco
is Disney
and Rice.
Oh, I did not know that. I didn't know there was a lot of people trying to copy.
Anne Rice is the reason why AO3 and all of these fan fiction sites have a huge blurb. Just her. She was going after people personally.
Oh, just for fan fiction.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And that, I feel, would tie into what was going on with Vampire the Masquerade, because they do reference some of the things going on with Anne Rice, because Anne Rice's interview with a vampire is quite influential in vampire circles.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure that some of her concepts got moved into some of the references.
But Anne Rice was incredibly influential in the creation of the fan fiction scene to this day, because of how often and how frequently she sued people for fan fiction.
You know what's funny though? I have seen examples of fan fiction where not only did the original copyright owners like their stuff,
Yeah.
Xena, Warrior Princess,
Lucy Lawless.
yeah, well, the character of Xena, not the actress. There was some fan fiction. I wish I had looked up the name but I didn't think of talking about fan fiction today. This person wrote a series of stories about the, well, let's just say the lesbianism was not implied.
Okay, yeah.
And they loved the quality of her stories so much, she got to write a couple episodes of the actual television show.
That is a lot better than some of the other fan fiction fan fiction authors were elevated, because I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of 50 Shades of Grey, which started off as fan fiction of Twilight, which isn't a very good story either. Mind you, if you enjoy Twilight, you can enjoy it. Just for me, it's not for me. I can't have my vampire sparkling.
Yeah, I don't think I should talk about my opinions about 50 Shades of Grey. I mean, okay, I'm going to say it anyways. The best thing 50 Shades of Grey did was not make the dominant person a freak.
Yeah, I still feel like 50 Shades of Grey did a disservice to the BDSM community.
Most of it. Let's not get down that BDSM thing, because that's not a role playing game thing, even though it can be.
Consent.
Yeah.
It messed around with people's understanding of consent, which we absolutely use in role playing games. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the BDSM community was the first people who decided, as an author for what is that? Montcook Games.
Yeah. No, the Book of Erotic Fantasy again.
Well, no, Montcook Games didn't have the book.
No, they did Book of Vile Darkness.
No, TSR did Book of Vile Darkness.
No,
Wizards of the Coast did Book of the Vile.
But Monty Cook did Book of Vile Darkness.
Oh, that's right. He used to work for Wizards of the Coast.
Yes, he has worked with Wizards of the Coast on and off. Yeah.
So one of the first people to start advocating for safety tools was Shannon Germain.
Yeah.
Who wrote No Thank You Evil and wrote the consent checklist. And so literally safety tools started with the BDSM tool community, and was say, hey, you know what? We should be using these same rules for role-playing games.
Yeah. You can use a lot of the concepts in one area can be transferred to other areas.
Yeah.
Yes. So, we could go on and on and on just the legal aspects of this. I wanted to go, I wish we had time to differentiate between like what was going on with the Hobbit estate, Hobbit and the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and how it's two different companies, and some of the stuff is going on with H.P. Lovecraft's public domain stuff, but we ran out of time.
Yeah, and maybe we'll do it in just talking, or if you want more of this topic, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Info at rpgresearch.com. Put the word talk show in the subject line, and we will read it.
Yes. So, after this, we have Traps and Riddles?
Traps and Riddles, and
then an
unboxing.
Okay, so after these messages, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the RPG Talk Show. We are going into Traps and Riddles.
Yes, Traps and Riddles. We do just what it says. I present a trap or riddle. He has to try to figure it out. This is Challenge of Champions 5 by Jonathan M. Richards. Artwork by Andrew Hu and Arnold Seng. Cartographer was Robert Lazzaretti. Dungeon Magazine, March 2004. Issue 108, Volume 18, Number 3. Each Challenge of Champions is a series of 10 scenarios designed to test the leadership, adaptability, and cohesion of the adventuring group. The scenarios are equally challenging for everyone, regardless of the level. The rules are as follows. Team members must wear only regular clothing. Any weapon, armor, gear, or magic items needed for the scenario will be provided. Spellcasters can have no spells memorized or prepared. All spells used in the contest are cast through rings of spell storing, as this allows all spells to be cast at the same level and negates the advantage higher level casters have over lower level ones. Familiar or magical companions are not allowed in the contest. A hint can be given for half points. The team will have 15 minutes to accomplish each scenario. Any game ruling needs will be used to the core 2024 Dungeons & Dragons rule set.
Yes. So, I have 4 characters. They're all level 4 for the purpose of game rules. We have Michael Wild Dog Cerleon, who is a champion fighter, and that would be him. We have Joannie the Firehearted, Nyzanthar, who is an evoker wizard. There we go. We have Geraldine Golden Dawn, a life cleric of Spokane, the Greyhawk god of sea, weather, and navigation. And last but not least, we have Scotty Quickflash, who is a thief in a local guild. Well, actually, I believe that was... This is Scotty Quickflash. This is a Geraldine Golden Dawn. Yes. So I believe you have for me another word puzzle.
You don't know until you find out.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to point out, though, I don't know if people can see my fez very well on screen. I mean, yes, there's a medallion here.
Yeah.
But no, does anybody even know what it says?
Not really. It says Dungeon Master.
I have different pins for different occasions.
Yes.
Now, again, I'm going to be all crooked until I figure out where my center is. Am I close?
Yeah, that's good enough.
All right.
Yes. So, what do you have for me today?
It's a simple one. This is scenario 4.
Uh-huh.
And it's called 4 Potions.
Yes.
A guild wizard named Musfitch informs you the start of the next scenario. I'll need you to designate yourselves as team members 1 through 4, if you would please.
Okay. Michael is 1, Joannie is 2, Geraldine is 3, and Scotty is 4.
All right. Now, the room beyond is 40 feet tall and 20 feet per side. Midway up the walls are 4 triangular ledges, 1 in each corner, overlooking a pool of molten lava.
Eesh.
You will each be taken to a different ledge, where you'll be shackled at the angles with a length of chain connected to the guardrail. You will each be given a potion vial. Each potion is different. One's a potion of alter self,
Mhm.
One is a potion of gaseous form, and one is a potion of swimming. And one, of course, is a vial of deadly poison. As you might expect, you must determine which vial contains which potion. Each of you will receive a key to one of the 4 shackles binding your ankles, though you won't necessarily get the key that opens your own shackle. You have 15 minutes to escape through the trap door at the center of the ceiling. You may begin.
Okay. So I'm trying to picture this, and I'm thinking even if I can get the shackles off, we've got ultra self, potion of swimming.
Potion of swimming and potion of gaseous
Huh.
form,
I
and of
don't
course the
see.
poison.
I feel like the potion of poison is only slightly less useful than the potion of swimming because it's a pool of lava. It wasn't a potion of fire resistance. So, okay, we have our potions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're on either end. Okay, you give me some um uh, pieces of paper.
Yes, these are the labels on for each potion.
Ah, okay. These are the labels of each potion. Okay, so I'm flipping them over, and I'm guessing we can hear each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we are um uh, we're each looking at it, and we're um uh, we're talking to each other about what could this possibly be, and all of us have and I'll show them a 4x3 grid of letters.
And these will be available. Um, you should be able to see these on your screen.
Yes. And I'm assuming that these, if I use these in some way or form, I will get some hint as to what is in each of these potions. So if this is just a word scramble, um, I I don't know. Considering that this is what I'm thinking. There are 4 potions and 4 columns. I'm going to see if lining up them top to bottom would help. Let's see here. Although it seems the last couple of times these word puzzles have been way more complicated than just a word, letter rearranging.
Well, they are meant to be challenging enough to justify being put into a contest.
Yeah. So, because this is a word puzzle, I'm going to ask for the hint.
Well, why don't you give me a intelligence insight check?
Okay. From let's go with the Joannie the Firehearted, who tends to be the most expensive. Intelligence insight.
Yep.
Okay, she's actually trained in that, so that's going to be 4 plus 2 is 6 plus whatever I roll. So 18.
You kind of got the idea, but it's just not enough for an actual free hint. So you're going to take um, the verbal hint from the wizard.
Yes.
The labels form a sentence when placed together correctly.
Okay. They create a sentence. Okay, let's see here. Can I come across any words based off of aligning them? See, one of the issues that I have is I I feel like I don't have enough time to be diligent.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem that I've had with,
Yeah, the
oh,
sense of rush is really what hurts you.
hmm so I may completely bypass, you know, a, the answer because I'm rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I have to iterate as quickly as possible without necessarily understanding what I'm looking for and hope that something pops up. And you said a sentence?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying left to right. Let's try silo. Uh, hmm. Trying a 4x4 now. Hesiota? No. Let's try this. I'm going to stick with one, and let's try these three first on the right side of it. Otacillo, Remoten, no. Otta Pessi, Himogen, Vertignal, Otta Ino, Hemo Austin, yeah. So, I always feel like I'm floundering with these. Silo, Otta,
And I know that if you're given a half hour, you would get these all right.
well, half an hour I'd be pacing myself differently. But with 15 minutes, I feel like I have, as I said, I have to iterate as quickly as possible. Which means I cannot spend time um really, you know, sticking right. If it doesn't jump out, to me, then I feel like I need to just quickly move on and hope that something will jump out. And for me, it's like throwing spaghetti against the wall.
Yeah. Questions, did you cook it? You have 6.5 minutes.
That's not going to help my mental health.
Never tell me the odds or the time.
Yeah. See, I see a th with the.
Oh,
There is a the, and that is going top to bottom.
okay.
Okay, that is on one of them. So I'm going to assume that it's going top to bottom. The ego, no. Itho, no. And then there's
This is where it would really, really help to have three other brains looking at this.
only if they have a certain amount of coordination already. Or you have someone who's just really, really good at word puzzles, in which case they just hand it off to that person. But, yeah, this is...
I mean, they could spot a pattern, gives you 4 times the chance to spot a pattern.
Yeah. With. I see a width in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that uses up 2 of the blocks, and then there's so there's the, and the width is in the second column, and the is in the second column. So I've been trying to focus on the second column. So let's see. Unless that's not a the, but a then. Then's width. And then I've got the IGI, or the EGI after that. I feel like I'm floundering. And this is how I feel with so many of these word puzzles. I feel like I'm floundering. Yeah.
You want to call it?
How much time do I have left?
3 minutes and 7 seconds?
Yeah, I'm going to call it.
All right. This puzzle is actually harder than what you're doing. Because remember, each of your characters has these.
Yes.
And they're on the opposite sides of this big room.
So they're all trying to coordinate as opposed to me just being one person.
Right. Yeah. And you have nothing to write with. So you have to do this verbally.
Yes.
But also in your defense, it makes it a little easier, is that when you're playing this at home, your time is followed in rounds. And we all know that a single melee round could take a half an hour.
Yes.
So it gives you real life longer time to figure it out. Because then there's like, okay, you could automatically get the first clue if you got a 20.
Yeah.
And if you take 20 on your system to get that first clue, basically without having to ask for it.
That would have been 20 minutes.
And that's past 15. They were only going to take 2 minutes to do that.
Okay.
Why? Because that's 20 rounds.
Ah.
It takes 20 rounds to get a... So then you have your physical actions, and each one of them is measured in rounds on how long it takes. So...
And honestly, I already expressed that I feel like there was really only 2 potions that I felt were useful, and one was going to kill me outright, but I don't know how it's going to spread, for example, a potion of, gaseous form across 4 people. Because I couldn't think of a way, like, even after we got out of our cuffs, to get into the center over molten lava and escape through the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let's solve the word puzzle.
Yes, let's solve the word puzzle.
The other part is the second half of the puzzle. So, put them in this order.
Yeah.
Upper right, left-hand corner, P.
Upper right,
left-hand corner? Upper left.
Upper left, okay.
Okay. Second one down,
Mhm.
The upper left-hand corner is I. The third one, upper left-hand corner, is C.
Okay.
And the last one, the upper left corner, is O.
Hmm.
Now,
Okay.
take a look at that in that order, and do you see if there's a pattern anywhere?
Okay. Potion color. I see potion color.
Okay. Now, it's all one sentence.
Yeah.
So the next word starts there and then moves back up to the top.
Okay. Begins with the second letter in potion name. So potion's color begins with the second letter in the potion's name.
Correct.
Okay. So what color potions do I have?
You have amber, orange, light blue, and white.
So amber M. M would have been. You said amber, white,
White, orange, and light blue.
light blue. Potion's color begins with the second letter in potion's name. Potion's color begins. So, and there was poison, P-O. So we had an orange one.
Mm-hmm.
So orange would have been the poison. Gaseous form, amber. The amber one was gaseous form.
Okay.
We have ultra self, AL, light blue. And what was the last color?
We have orange, white, light blue.
White. Swim.
Okay.
Yeah. So the white one was swim. Okay, we've identified the colors.
Yep.
The orange one is the poison one. No one's using that.
Okay. Now, you just have the first part of the riddle.
Uh-huh.
Second part, finding out the legs. Then translating, that's the second part. What's the third part?
The third part was going to be getting out of the shackles.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And now there's two ways that I can see getting out of the shackles. There's the keys. The person with the gaseous form could drink their potion, right?
Yeah.
Take their key, try it on their Would they even be able to manipulate the key in gaseous form?
You can carry the key in gaseous form, or none of this would work.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, you can't. The key has to stay there because you can't pick it up.
So I can't pick it up.
Yeah. So what do you do now?
Well, they escape. The person with ultra form, would they be able to gain wings?
Yes.
Okay. Would they be able to slip out of their shackles with ultra form?
Maybe. I mean, because you gained wings, but you didn't change the size of your ankle.
I could change the size of my ankles and gain wings. It depends on how ultra form allows me to alter my shape.
Yeah.
Because if I can gain wings, have change and get out of my shackles, then I can grab the key there and go around to basically fly around, pick up the key, have the person check their shackle because I'm only doing two others, and I don't know if I'd be strong enough in a winged form to pick up the other two people and take them up to the ceiling.
Okay.
But how did they want me to
Okay. How you turn the gaseous?
Yeah.
you go over to the person with the altar form. You churn off your gaseous form. You drink the altered form. You go around, collect all the keys. And then you try to figure out which key does each lock. And then you fly them all up through the top.
Okay, so the altar form was going to be strong enough to fly them up.
Yes.
Okay.
And remember, to make this even harder, you have to figure that.
There's 4 people trying to line up. And let me show you how this was. Nothing to write on. Imagine 4 people trying to coordinate how these things line up.
Here, hand me one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm one of the 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
I have a label with PESI along the top row, OGEN on the middle row, TICP. Now, you can't write this down.
Right. Now, I'm literally holding the next one in line. Okay, we know that it's top to bottom. It's like, okay, you said what were the first 4 letters at the top?
PESI.
PESI. Well, that doesn't match with INOO. Well, let's try top to bottom.
Left side or right side?
Left side.
POT.
POTION? Is that potion?
Yeah, we got a word.
Okay.
But you have to do this in your head.
Yeah.
Because you only get to see your card.
Yeah.
Man. It's too hard for a 15-minute time cycle.
Yeah.
I think it can be done in a D&D 15-minute cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Broken up in rounds.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I can come up with ways where I can get past the I don't have anything to write on.
Biting the tip of your finger.
Yes. We write it in blood.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull a kind of from quills and the Marquis de Sade. We're gonna use blood and we're gonna write on the walls. This is what I have.
Yeah, it would work. Okay, so we talked about that you can use decipher script check, which I translated into intelligence insight.
Yeah.
And you can take 20 to get that DC 20, which actually should have been DC 18 when translated from 3rd edition to 5th edition, which means I think you would have made it.
I think I would have made it because I rolled a 12 and I had a 6.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 18.
And a check is successful to inform the player that the 4-letter grids on the potion vial should create a sentence when placed in the correct order and read in sequence. But then now you still have to define it. But at least that is the hint that would cost
that was
you
a better hint than some of the others that I've had.
Yeah. Then PCs can try to toss their potion vials or their keys to each other. A thrown key or a potion vial has an AC of 16 while it's hurled through the air. If a PC misses the vial, it falls to the floor and is lost and consumed by the lava.
Yeah, which is why I wasn't going to ever try that.
Yeah, nobody should ever try that. A successful escape artist check, DC 30, lets a character squeeze out of the shackle. In this case, it would be the saving throw that you used versus the grappled condition. But it would have to be acrobatics.
Acrobatics? No, I can make a constitution check. I break my wrist. I break my wrist to get out of the shackle.
No, you just have to break your thumb.
I physically injure myself to get out of the shackle.
Yes, but okay, you break your wrist, and meanwhile the shackle is still attached to your leg.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm gonna pull a Cinderella and cut off my heel.
And let's see. Escape artist takes a full minute. Taking 20 requires more time than the PCs are allowed to complete the situation. PCs can attempt open lock DC 30 on their manacles using the key they were provided as a simple tool, even if it's the wrong key. Remember to apply the -2 penalty to a lack of proper lockpicks.
Yeah.
The following list is where they go, and those were just the things you could have done. There's a whole chart here with which PC, which has which color, what label, and which key they have. And there's another chart. PC1 has key A, which opens PC2 shackle. PC2.
Yeah, there is.
It is too difficult for a real world 15 minutes.
Yeah, and okay, these games are artificial in nature, but and this is one of the issues I've always had with the whole puzzle aspect of specifically Dungeons of the Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
If the puzzle doesn't fit the dungeon, it feels artificial.
Well, here's even the worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the real world, nobody makes a puzzle that has to be solved to get through the door, because that means anybody can do it, and you could forget the puzzle.
Yeah. Now, mind you, there have been some that I've actually found which were decent. Where there was one that I remember where you were in a burial chamber, right? And there were reliefs and images on the walls, right?
Yeah.
And it told a story. And figuring out that puzzle gave you information about the plot.
That is different than an escape room.
Exactly, but it wasn't an escape room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gave you information that would help you with the story, but nobody will make a trap or a riddle as your way to get through. You don't answer my riddle and we'll let you in.
Well, no, I'm fairly certain some game master has played, let's play a game, and they're playing Jigsaw.
But that's a game master.
Yeah, I know. I know.
The Egyptians didn't do puzzles. It's a horrible security system.
Yes, it's a horrible security system.
That means I could break into it almost anywhere.
Although I think an argument can be made that if you establish that the wizard is really, really scatterbrained, he can't remember his own passwords. So you've got to decipher his passwords. That would make sense within the plot.
Okay, so I'm going to give you your first book for our unboxing.
Okay.
Or first object.
Okay.
It is Dungeon Crate.
Let me reset this and begin going into unboxing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the funny part about this. Remember when we did the unboxing of Dungeon in a Box?
Yes.
And it was a Christmas episode?
Yes.
That night, when I went upstairs, the Dungeon Crate was waiting for me.
Christmas part 2?
Yeah, so here you go.
Yeah. Christmas part 2. This is Dungeon Crate. Okay. And
I want to show people something real fast.
Okay.
Over here are my Dungeon Crate boxes.
Yes.
That I store miniatures in.
Mm-hmm.
And there's way bunches of them. And they're put in there alphabetically by type.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys can notice this. I'm assuming you can't read those. But I don't have humanoids in there at all.
No, you don't.
Because that would fill that exact same amount of space.
Yeah.
I need to redo my... I need to figure out a way to get all my elves, dwarves, and other humanoid creatures sorted.
There we go.
And then figure out where to put them. I have... if I was putting these on display shelves, I would need a second room.
Yeah. So, we've got Dungeon Crate.
Yes.
Let's take a look. Let's angle this camera.
And my only point was that I'm reusing the boxes.
Oh yeah, I would say that you're doing a really good job of reusing those boxes. So we have the cat paper first, and it is Christmas themed.
Nice red.
This is nice and red. This would work well both for cats and for Christmas wrapping.
Yes.
Okay, so we have Naughty or Nice Mystery RPG Dice with the Krampus on one side and Jolly Saint Nick on the other side.
So whether or not you are...
Oh, it's reversible.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Also, this determines whether or not you're naughty or nice by whether or not you get Krampus or you get Santa Claus.
Okay, so we have cold ice.
We got Krampus.
We got Krampus. We got cold ice. But that's thematic. I'm seeing a sticker in here that I may have to negotiate with you about.
Okay.
But we'll get to that. We have this, and I've never really known how to open these.
Well, traditionally,
you pull them.
You pull them, and it's a snap. But this one, you're just going to pull the ribbons.
Yeah.
Snappers were a European tradition, Great Britain, etc. And you would put gifts in these things, and you pull it out hard, it snaps, and your gift falls to the ground. Hopefully, you didn't put fine crystal in there.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had a snapper open for me.
Ah.
So let's see here. Oh,
I believe you can get them at World Market.
Ah. Okay, so in here we have a scroll.
Now, I've already opened the scroll.
You have?
Yeah. My family and I opened our boxes.
Well, there's a little ring on it too.
This is a magic scroll prop.
Yeah.
But if you want to, you can unroll it and write stuff on it because it's blank.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And there's a tape measure.
This is good for any game that relies on miniatures.
Yes.
And
it's small, so you can handle, you can put this in your dice bag.
I also use just a straight ruler, but that's better. It's a longer thing. It takes up less space than a ruler.
So we have some stickers. Well, I'm going to get to that, but we have what is this?
It's a Christmas ornament.
It's a Christmas ornament with a chimera.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I have from the early year. The very first year that they had a Christmas, they gave these plastic Christmas ornaments, and even the owner doesn't have a full set anymore.
Wow.
I still have a full set.
Congratulations.
Well, they were very important to our family.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this back in.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay. We have... Oh, this is nice. This is a nice bag. At least I would use it as a nice bag. That's a snap open, yeah. This is really well made.
You can use this as a dice bag, a coin purse.
A prop.
I think...
and it opens all the way up.
You can put a decent amount in there. I think, look at the leather sides.
Yeah.
And see if you can slide a belt in there.
Oh, no.
No, on both sides?
No, you can't.
That would have been better.
But
that would make a great pelt pouch.
Yes.
Of course, you could just tie it to you.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be able to hook it onto here.
Mm-hmm.
But that could strain the cord. That's really nice. We have a digital code, which we will not be sharing. We have a spirit.
I don't know if this is supposed to be the spirit of Christmas past or what.
Yeah, it's just called spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's ectoplasmic.
Slimer.
We have some stickers, but first we have the Krampus.
Yeah. Is that the one you want to negotiate for?
No. I have my theatrics here. I'll leave my best for last. I just like this.
And
That
it's
is,
clear.
yeah, this is clear.
So it's like a window clean or
Yeah,
something?
but it's a skull with what looks like poison. I'm assuming it's poison. And I guess that's a decal. And we've got Ghost Visitors of Yule. I'm going to see if there's anything else on here. No. So, we have an adventure. A level 10 adventure. Oh, wow. We've got some scary people in the woods here. So, we have a level 10 adventure.
I have ran some of these adventures before,
Mm-hmm.
and my players were asking for more.
Oh, nice. So we have level 10 adventure by George Shepard. Ghostly Visitors of Yule, level 10. Scenario: stop ghostly visitors before they strike down a beloved local philanthropist. So this is like the reverse of a Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Ghostly Visitors of Yule is built for the 5th edition of Worlds of the world's oldest role-playing game. With a few modifications, you can use it for most any RPG, fantasy RPG. Find enemy and NPC stats in your core rulebook. This adventure is suitable for 5th edition Shadow Dark RPG or Pathfinder. Read the italicized text to your players. The story takes place in the town of Corsa on the lands of Stald within our sandbox world of Halcyon. Though it that's a misspelling. It's supposed to be though it can fit in any northern town with a similar vibe. Local citizens have, and this is season up the spirit. Got some nice artwork here. It's a creepy person in the background. Local citizens have urgently requested help to exorcise a haunting that threatens a well-liked businessman named Irving Muchina. His former business partners, now dead, have returned as vengeful spirits, intent on collecting the debts he owed them in life by murdering him. The townsfolk are offering a reward of 500 gold pieces to anyone who can save the beloved philanthropist. 500 gold pieces for a 10th level character? Okay, this is charity work.
Well, and sometimes that has to be the case in some of these stories.
Yeah,
You have to deal with not every villager is walking around with 1,000 gold in their pocket.
I agree, but I'm saying for 10th level, you are you're getting into Masters of the Realms type stuff. You are affecting kingdoms. The scope of this venture seems, for me, first to fourth level.
That's an awful big award for first to fourth level.
Yeah, I know, but this is also helping a philanthropist. Maybe 5 to 10. This is the high end of it. But we've got a entryway, a living room, a kitchen, dining room, a staircase, storerooms, office, sack of endless coal, a very rare wondrous item. This soot-covered bag is covered in a script of extremely catchy songs that sticks in your head, repeating over and over. The item produces a supply of coal to keep a fire up to the size of a campfire going indefinitely. The sack has 6 charges for the following properties. The staff regains. Oh, misspelling. The sack. It's supposed to be sack. Regains 1d6 plus 1 extended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge on a roll a d6 on a 6th, the staff regains 1d6
This isn't a spelling error, it's a cut and paste error.
Yeah, that's an editing error. You may expend charges to 1 charge, cast Fog Cloud, 1 charge, cast Fairy Fire, 3 charges, cast Stinking Cloud. While you're attuned to this item, you gain resistance to cold damage, resistance to fire damage, the ability to cast light and produce flame cantrips. That right there is worth it. You may expend 3 charges when casting a spell from this item to force a creature within the spell's area of effect to make a charisma saving throw. Failing the saving throw forces the creature to maintain concentration on the spell on your behalf. Oh, wow! That's good. This creature can voluntarily fail the save. The creature can attempt the charisma save at the end of its turn, otherwise it cannot voluntarily end the concentration on the spell otherwise.
So, hey, fighter with a high constitution. Just think about the spell for me.
No. Enemy spellcaster. You're now stopping them from casting any of their concentration spells.
Because they're
concentrating on mine.
Yeah. So,
and we have another picture and a map.
Now you can get that map so you can print it out using the code that he won't show you.
Yes.
And I gotta warn you about the codes on this though. They only there for you might like 3 months back. After that, they're gone. So if you don't collect them, you lose them.
Use them or lose them.
Now, and then there's other little things you're going to get in there.
Yeah.
This one, I am looking forward to watching you look at this.
Okay. Let me tie this back up. Nice and pretty. It'll be empty, though.
Oh, I will use it for next year. I will put a gift in it.
There we go.
You know, we keep gift box and wrapping. And
okay.
We don't have to. But we have certain gift bags and stuff that have circulated to every member of our family.
Okay. Here you go.
All right.
Okay, we have 15 minutes left.
I think you can make 15 minutes out of this.
Okay. Let's take a look at this.
There's nothing to read on that side.
I'm appreciating the artwork, which is beautiful. It's a nice black and white.
It looks like a jellyfish.
It does look like a jellyfish
with a stinger.
So this is compatible with DCC RPG.
That's Dungeon Crawl Classics.
A bestiary of children's nightmares. I'm hoping that we have a continuation of this art style. I think it'd be very...
Actually, there might be a little bit, but let's just watch you learn.
Ooh, we've got a skeletal dog. Let's see here. A bestiary of children's nightmares. Rules and layout by Jonathan F. Sullivan, edited by Bethany Sullivan. Creature designs and illustration by Levi Sullivan. There's a lot of Sullivans here.
It's a family project, literally.
I see that. This product is based on Dungeon Crawler Classics role-playing game, published by Goodman Games. Introduction. Hush, little baby, don't say a word, and never mind that noise you heard. It's just the beasts under your bed, in your closet, in your head. James Hetfield, enter Sandman. When I was little, I had a reoccurring nightmare. Don't remember the details. Even as an adult, I rarely remember my dreams. But it involved a young girl with dead eyes in a landfill. She didn't do anything but stand there and stare. That little girl terrified me. I hadn't thought about that nightmare for years until my wife and I started having children, and I had to comfort them in the middle of the night when their own nightmares came stalking in the dark. Having nightmares, it seems to me, is not such a bad thing since it gives us the opportunity to wrestle with them and defeat them, or at least accept them as a part of our wounded existence. That's one reason I never much minded when my children took to drawing abominations and monstrosities in their spare time to wrestle with such creatures. With such creatures is one hopes to imagine how they might be overcome. As G. K. Charleston so sagely observed, fairy tales do not give the child his first idea of boogie, but fairy tales give the child his first clear idea of the possible defeat of boogie.
It's bogey.
Bogey. I'm used to like the
It's
boogeyman.
not boogeyman. A bogey is a fey monster.
The baby has known the dragon intimately ever since he had an imagination. What the fairy tale provides for him is a Saint George to kill the dragon. It's in that spirit that I share my children's nightmares with you, transferred from their psyches into the realms of palpable fantasy so that you too may imagine how such horrors and bogies might be defeated by your reavers and gong farmers. Working on this project with my children has been an even bigger joy than I anticipated. I hope you enjoy it as much as we've enjoyed producing it.
Now,
And they have some Latin.
I do not have this game system.
Mm-hmm.
I have some quick start ones because from free RPG day,
Mm-hmm.
I got some Dungeon Crawl classic modules. There you go.
We have the Iraq Squid. And I must say, this is some amazing artwork. I love it. Is it done by children? Yes, I don't care. This is wonderful artwork.
That's the point of it.
I still, as an artist, I can still appreciate children's artwork. I love it.
Have you seen the movie Scribble?
No, I have not.
It's this book.
Oh, okay. We've got a beak guy and a bloodworm. These are wonderful for bloodworm saliva. Carefully extracted from the fallen bloodworms, this ointment can be applied to bladed weapons as poison wounds dealt by such a blade continue to bleed, causing 1 hit point per round until they are bandaged or healed by magic. We've got a clave clinger, a Draith, I'm guessing a dragon wraith.
I'm guessing too.
An abominable undead, the Draith appears as a skeletal monstrosity. Small flames to swirl around the creature but provide no warmth. Draith roams the nighttime roads in search of heat for its chilled bones. Sometimes it breaks into houses and lays in the dying embers of kitchen fires. Other times it slaughters livestock and climbs inside the carcass. Heat consumption. The Draith targets a living creature within 25 feet and draws out its body heat. The target must make a DC 16 fort save to take damage equal to the Draith's hit points. Half damage on a successful save. And it has 6d6 hit dice.
I got this off Kickstarter. And it really was because I just love the concept.
I do love this. Hammerheader. I love these.
I thought you would like this one.
And mind you, I have a thing for hammerhead sharks as well. I love them. Infested vein.
Infested
vein. Jarixt. This has to be an abomination.
Oh yeah, I definitely say that.
Let's see here. A living nightmare who gains entrance into the world by tearing its way out of a victim's dreams. Wow. Once on the material plane, the Jarixt grows to prodigious size by consuming mental energy, scholars speculate regarding its motivations, but it has been known to wipe out small villages before returning to the astral realm to sail the phlogistic currents. Kindle Knox. Leviathan. Sailors sing dirges of an ancient devil that dwells in the deepest oceans, rising every 100 years to feast on the souls of deserters and child killers. In truth, Leviathan is a creature of the natural world, albeit a gargantuan primordial unknown to modern scholars. Leviathan spends most of its life festering on whalefowl and other offal on the ocean floor. On rare occasions, it rises to the surface to attack living prey using its powerful jaw and spear-like fluke. The Leviathan.
Yeah, I really thought you would enjoy this.
You've got the Long Crus and the Mirglass. You've got a Nyx. That's adorable.
Correction. It's not Scribble. It's Sketch Movie 2025.
Ah,
And it is a girl who draws out her monsters
okay.
as a way of coping.
Nyx. Small, brightly colored insects about the size of your thumb. Nyxes bring good luck from the Fey realms. Befriending a Nyx is nigh impossible for mortals. Elven nobles have been known to grant them as rewards for special service to the Fey King, although the expectation is that the Nyx will be returned upon the death of the recipient. Killing a Nyx or allowing one to come to harm is considered a grave crime amongst elves. So this is kind of like a white elephant.
Mm.
Yeah, where it is a gift that you cannot really refuse, and sometimes the upkeep is way more costly than if you had never had it to begin with.
Well, of course it is. Everything
Yeah.
upkeep is more, but yeah.
We've got a flunk. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. Flunk,
Yeah, flunk.
which is, I guess, a version of the flump. We've got a praying mantis. That was the other side.
Praying mantis.
Mantis. Farmers tell stories of a humanoid insect the size of a toddler that prowls the countryside in search of stray livestock or solitary travelers. Wiser folk scoff at such tales until they find themselves alone on a valley road at night. You've got the Shabak and the Shibek. Like an antlion.
Yeah.
The Silas. Silsas. I love this.
I'm looking forward to translating this into, well, either learning Dungeon Crawl Classics or translating this into other game systems.
Got a Snap Hydra. Planted by oligarchs and reclusive wizards to protect their estates, these distant cousins of snapdragons appear as ropes of climbing flowers until the rending mandibles of their blooms snake out to feast on unsuspecting prey. There's the snitch.
Is that a tail?
That's his hands.
Oh,
There's
I
a
want to
spell
hug you,
called
all of you.
There's a spell called Crate Snitch. Magical constructs fashioned by wizards to serve as spies in their sanctum, snitches resemble diminutive humanoids with a single large eye and long vestigial arms. Snitches communicate telepathically with their creators, but are otherwise mute. They have highly developed sight and hearing. While probably not while not physically imposing, the sight of a snitch sends terror in the hearts of seasoned reavers because it is a sign that their presence has already been detected.
And
That reminds me of a specific type of monster as well.
what's that?
It's in the monsters manual, but it looks very much like this. I think it's called a Nothic.
Yes, that is like a Nothic.
Yeah.
It's got one eye. And you do realize that by saying that it has visual arms, it's dragging behind the creature.
Yeah.
Because they don't function.
Yes. So I'm going to leave this one that I just came across for last. So we've got the Warden. Okay. I'm going to go backwards. We've got the Venetian Flying Trap and the Vitramus.
Well, that looks like... That just looks nightmarish.
Well, all of these look nightmarish.
Well, they're supposed to.
Yes. And...
when you consider these come literally from children's nightmares.
Yeah. We have the Unicorpse. Now, there's a reason why I'm leaving this for last.
Because it's gory.
It is gory, yes, but I've had a joke idea for the longest time. People can use this however they want. Okay? So this is what you do. As a game master, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Game, there's a not even a trope. This is what happens with games a lot of times, where you plan for it to be like Lord of the Rings, but it turns into Monty Python. Right?
Yes.
So what you do, and you can use the Unicorpse for this, right? So every time the party goes off the rails with some dumb joke or pun, they get attacked by this. Okay.
I had one where it was creeks, cracks, and crevices.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they made that phrase, I search every creek, crack, and crevice.
Mm-hmm.
A maid would come out and hit them with a broom or a mop.
So the reason why I want you to attack them with a Unicorpse is eventually they're beating a dead horse. They're beating a dead horse to death. So with that said, this looks wonderful. I love it.
I think he had a blue fairy or something that would punish punsters.
So, this has been the RPG Talk Show. My name has been Daniel Ivy.
It's still Daniel Ivy.
Yes. Brought to you by RPG Research in cooperation with the USS Spokane, the Inland Empire's Star Trek Fan Association. Comments, questions, and suggestions should be directed to info@rpgresearch.com with the subject line including RPG Talk Show.
Next week, our topic will be historic perspective. Which one?
I want to say we're doing we did a legal today. We're not doing building blocks.
No, that's third.
That's third. We are doing. Oh, geez, I'm blanking here.
Don't worry. This is why it's written down.
Yes.
Next week is stereotypes and myth.
Yes.
Historical perspective, stereotypes and myth.
Mm-hmm. Some of the things that we've had to deal with, playing role-playing games and the ideas that people have had of it. Yes.
We'll talk about player archetypes.
Mm-hmm.
As
player
well,
stereotypes.
Player stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
Myths about games themselves. And I think we can get a good hour out of that. Easy.
Yeah. So, see you next week. Good night, and
dream well.